Alright, there's a week done, so we can maybe get into...
Can you feel it? The walls between the sane world and that unplumbed dimension of delirium are tenuously thin here.
Alright. Fuck. Still our people aren't back, right? This is really annoying that I have to reset like this guy needs to be stress healed. Disease as well. 2 of them. Shit. Leper needs stress removal as well. Alright. Do I know what I want to run this with yet? That seems pretty valuable. I assume that applies to the Dungeons of the Endless. Anyone know one way or the other whether or not these applies to the Dungeons of the Endless? And
Fresh from the stagecoach.
hey Kate, thanks for the sub. Alright, we can pick up another bullseye bandana, another sun ring, another healing greaves. A lot of stuff in here that can be good for us. Alright, let's take a look at these items too. So what do we have? It applies a blight and 25% to stun. No, plus 25% stun skill chance if holy water's in inventory. I don't love that. Oh, it's Crusader only too. On monster kill, buff target minus 2% stress, buff target plus 2 accuracy. Hero killed, party stun. Hero killed, party stress. Can be used on anyone, that's good. Oh, not good. Okay. Miller's pipe. On monster kill, stress minus 4. That is so big. Is it for anyone? Monsters killed, all monsters get blighted. Hero killed, party stress gets big. Hero killed, buff target plus 20% protection. Buff target plus 2% speed. I think that's worth using. Maybe. It's a really strong item too, although I don't know that I can deal with the stress. Stress seems to be what's killing us right now. That's an amazing item. It's pretty mediocre. That seems really good. I almost want to bring... Okay, so there's... Maybe I shouldn't be talking strategies. Maybe I should. There's 3 strategies I want to try. I want to try double Arbalest. I want to try a pure buff strategy. We had a pretty much pure buff strategy yesterday. I'm not sure if I can do better than that. And I want to try a mix of dodge. Dodge plus crit seems super valuable in this. It's highlight, so dodge is much better than it would be normally. Dodge is a full stress evasion, and crit is a really solid way of stress healing. It's just not consistent. I don't know that I can bring an individual stress healer. The Vestal seem too slow to me. So maybe, I mean, Vestal... What I'm hearing is the player who's currently ahead is Leper, Jester, Vestal is a control. It's a control strategy. It has a direct healer and it has a direct stress healer. I mean, it's possible that's okay. I mean, we might be able to try that. We have a Vestal available. Pretty sure we have a Jester too. Don't think we have double lepers right now. I think one of our lepers is out. Lepers have been really strong in this. Plague Doctor was pretty good too, although the stun. I guess I don't have to buy these, so I'm ready to go. Let's go one more. I found the permanent... okay, the other thing I want to look at is I want to look at permanent buffs. So let's look at those right now. Highwayman has buffs. It's a really strong self buff. It is 20% damage, 10 accuracy, and 10 crit. That's an insane buff. Highwayman's not very... maybe I could do a ranged Highwayman. We'll think about that. The Grave Robber... or not Grave Robber. The Plague Doctor has this, which is amazing. This is 2 per fight, and it's 25% damage, 5 speed, twice. It's really good as well. The Leper has 2. The Lepers were a lot harder to use because it's really hard to stop the swing, but they're really strong, both of them. Revenge is good if I have a dedicated healer, which is 35% damage, 15 accuracy, which is really big, and 15 crit, which is really big. And then minus dodge and plus damage taken. And then Arbalest, I don't think has a permanent buff. I think this is a temporary. I was looking at this. Suppressing Fire is no longer all 4. I was looking to use that, but I forgot about the change that it moved from 4 to 2. I think that's probably not worth running. I'd be interested in doing it though. I'm very interested in stacking dodge and seeing how that works. Dodge is so bad in most game modes, but this is again a game mode with totally different rules than our normal game modes. Oh wait, what's the other leopard buff? It's really solid, right? The other leopard buff is 30% protection. It's 30%. This is withstand. 30 protection. 30 blight bleed. Move, debuff, and marked. I don't know. Do you guys know if the Arbalest Flare removes this? I didn't notice yesterday. I wanted to check that, and I didn't notice in time. It's a pretty solid buff, though. Alright, there was a Grave Robber buff. I want to go look at that. I don't think there was others. Alright, Crusader has a permanent 30% protection. Okay. No permanent buffs there. Bounty Hunter, no permanent buffs. No permanent buffs on the Occultist. No permanent buffs on the Hound. I think this is now a permanent buff. I don't know if that's permanent though. It doesn't say, like, it says uses per battle 3, so I'm guessing that's not a permanent buff. No, it doesn't look permanent. But that is, right? 13 dodge. 4 speed. She has dodge items that she can gear with too, right? Hey, Red Hook Studios. Yeah, I understand that I have to recast them, but I still think it's really strong right now. For this game mode, again, it's because this game mode is so different. It's been really fun playing with different game modes. So this is Mark Target plus 30 dodge, Finale plus 75. I assume this is a temporary buff again. No, we're apparently in second, Care Bear. I don't know if the standings are up to date yet or not. I woke up this morning and checked it, or rather I checked it about 2 seconds before stream. I'm like, nice, still in first, but no. I gotta go early today as well. This isn't my normal streaming day, which means I have plans for this evening. Afternoon, evening. I gotta be done by 3:30 my time, which sucks. I would really like to have played till the end. And this is not a permanent buff either. Yeah, I'm not getting at you, Red Hook Studios. I understand. Like, this is... You guys were up really late last night and doing it that way. I just meant that I wasn't quite sure where my standings are right now. Okay, alright, so the permanent buffs are there. The other thing I was kind of... I mean, the double Arbalist is kind of interesting to me too. Sniper shot does fairly good damage. I mean, if we could do double Arbalist with some sort of marking ability... I don't know. It's not a lot of targets that require marks. But with like a protection mark in there, like I'm looking at Arb, Hound, and then something that gives me dodge, maybe Leper. That gives me dodge, armor remove, and mark synergy with healing and crit synergy. So that seems... How good is the new focus ring? The new focus ring is really good. Or rather, the nerfs to... I mean, this was true anyways. I played some runs where I banned for myself moon rings and sun rings, and I found that to be a really big deal. We might even be able to run that right now. Do we have a leper that can go now? Do we have a second Arbalist right now? Fuck. Again, like, it's always this way. I mean, I guess this is part of the competition, right? If I had an infinite time to game this out, which I guess I will when the game is released and it's no longer a competition, we can build characters that come into this with massive amounts of favorable quirks. So Arb, Hound, Leper is interesting to me. I should certainly give consideration to any comp that is already run that went very well, which apparently was Leper, Vestal, Jester. That's a control comp. And then looking at the other one I wanted to try for me was buffing. Now I'm not quite sure what looks like buffing. I mean, there's buffing in both the leper strategies. So our buffs, dodge and buff. So dodge, Grave Robber has good dodge. The Grave Robber is really inconsistent. I don't like what they've done with her damage. I really don't like her damage being tied to blighting things. It just doesn't feel like you set that up very easily. You need like a Plague Doctor or an Abomination. I think Abomination is terrible in this format. So I'm not sure we're going to set that up easily. Although, does Flashing Daggers get damage to blight targets or no? Because there's some massive synergy between Flashing Daggers and no. And the Abomination Vomit. To the other dodge type. See, I don't really see Crusader hitting too many of these. I mean, I guess the Crusader has... He's like a weaker leper in this format almost. I mean, he's got a stress heal, and the stress heal is relevant because we don't have a stress heal. I mean, we kind of have a stress heal with Arbalist, Hound, Leper, but we don't really because the Hound's not in the right location for it. I guess the Arbalist can spam their stress removal, but it seems pretty inefficient as stress removal goes. Actually, how inefficient is it?
A gleaming endowment.
Thank you, Galg, for hitting the daily goal right off the bat.
Hypey.
Charity hypey indeed. Alright, so let me just quickly compare this skill now. This is -6 for a 75% chance, which is what projected? I should have that in my head, but I'm not even going to bother. 74%. That's what we'll say. Instead of 75, it's 74. That's the hard bit. So it's 4.4 average. And what is the to everybody, though? So we're looking at 17.7 for deficiency across the team. And what does this do? This is only 67 for 3. It's a lot worse. So we're looking at 2 average times 4 is 8. We're looking at half. That's half efficiency. Although it does clear stun. Red Hook, do we know, I don't know which, by the way, I don't know when you're on Red Hook without the name behind it. I don't know who I'm talking to. Does this also clear marks off my own? It says clear marked target. Does that clear marks that I've built onto myself? Like the Crusader's self-mark and the Leper's self-mark? Does Rallying Flare change that? Does it clear that? Because that's pretty useful. Oh, I'm talking to John? Nice. I don't have a Flagellant. It's not in my available stuff. I don't have time to level one. So if one shows up in the mercenary thing, we can do it. Okay, so there's some synergy there. I really want to try the double Arbalist. This is something that's interesting to me. I also want to try the dodge stuff. So the dodge ones are really Grave Robber. I don't want a Grave Robber though. And maybe we do the dodge with this as well. So the dodge is Man-at-Arms has a dodge buff for everybody. The dodge off the dog is really strong. So I think there was an item in here, and I was wondering about the interaction of this. I think there's a hound item in there here that has something weird. It's like a 66% increase in terms of the duration, or maybe that was the buff. Gives minus 10 dodge. There it is, 66% guard duration. Now, I don't know why it modifies by 66% when it's one turn. Why make that the modifier? Right? This has always been a one turn, right? Did they change it? Is it 2 turns now again? Yeah, but why is that not 100% change then? Why 66? Why play with the rounding? Why is it relevant? So if you could guard Cry Havoc with that item, it's okay. I mean, the rest of this item is maybe. That's it. Man-at-Arms would be 4 with 100% more. It's a Houndmaster only item. Who cares? Is there any world in which we can run Hound 3? I mean, I don't think Hound 3 is all that strong anymore. They nerfed his damage, nerfed his bleed. Blackjack's only ever been positioned 2. We're looking at Cry Havoc, which is an inconsistent. I mean, it's a very strong amount of stress per heal. But I don't even like position 3 guarding all that much. I mean, I guess there's a lot of enemies that hit all positions here. So I'm tempted to run the comp we ran again. That was Arbalist, Plague, Leper, Man-at-Arms. And the reason why I'd run it again is there's 2 more items in here that I'm interested in. This one and this one. Giving the Man-at-Arms dodge to stack with resistances seems really strong. It's just 2. I have enough for both of those 2. Okay, the question is, what do we run right now? So let's say I could run... Oh, but no weeks progress. So it doesn't make any fucking difference if I do this now or after, because no weeks progress during this. That's also frustrating. So I guess we need to go cycle once more. And I'm looking for... Damn, I wish I had more time today. Got a Man-at-Arms. None of those skills are very helpful. What does this Man-at-Arms do? Those are much better skills for us. How many of these low-level guys do I have? Oh, it's not that. It's an issue of the number of mercenaries, right? I can't see using more than one of these guys. I can't actually see using any occultists right now.
This one has become vestigial. Useless.
Feels weird the Hellion isn't being played, but I don't really know. Luminous on the Hellions too is really solid. But I didn't find her damage enough. And her utilities weren't super helpful for this either. Her crit stuff is really good though. Was the Hellion item any good? I think it wasn't, right?
Another poor fool, lost in time and
Crazy Cow, thank you for the sub. No, that wasn't particularly good. I mean, it's okay. Oh, the on-attack miss is pretty bad. Okay. May not need a group stress heal. I did eventually lose the stress in all my runs yesterday. And I think I could have played some of those interactions better too. So let's try this. Let's try, I want to try the group I just ran again, but I want to try the double Arbalest group. I can't do them both simultaneously. I guess I can do the double Arbalest group as soon as this gets treated. This isn't quite ready yet. So I need to do one more level 1 mission, it looks like. We can do that real quick. Ruins, fine. Who do I have for level 1s available? You. Do I want to play with the new? No, I don't really want to play with the new. And you. Grab their skills to make this easier and faster. You're not in this. You are. You are. And you are. Gotta make sure we've got stuff ticking in here. Okay, sort by stress. Anybody here still stressed? Not being treated? Yeah, you aren't. I guess that's just a meditation. Or a drinking. Oops. Oh, you won't drink. Why not? You only meditate? You only meditate. That's fine. Okay. We've got gear. We'll cycle this again. Okay. What are my thoughts on plus virtue? See, I've tried extensively for plus virtue runs before. Okay, a couple thoughts. I don't want to waste too much time on this because I've had this asked a lot. There's 2 items that are really solid for plus virtue. The hero's ring, and then there's the second one, which is called it's an ancestral item. I can't remember what it's called right now, which we don't have. It's another plus virtue item. The big cost of bringing virtue items is A, you don't know who it's going to be used on until it happens, basically, and B, you don't. It costs you 2 items to bring it, and then the downside. So that's the cost of bringing them. That's what it costs you to bring them compared to something else. You can switch that around a lot of times. You have a guy at like 70, you're like, okay, I'll put double virtues item on him. It does make it more likely that you're going to get that check because you've taken off whatever defensive items or powerful items he's using already to get that. And then you can only max your virtue maxes out. I don't remember what it maxes out at right now. It's been changed at some point in my life, but I can't remember what the hell it maxes out right now. But it's still not very good. I remember in the vicinity of 2/3 to 3/4 chance for a virtue, which just beats the hell out of what it starts at, but still is not guaranteed. And I have had runs end where I invested heavily in double virtue items, and then the virtue didn't proc, and then I'm screwed. So I'm not so excited about that. We'll see. I want to run the control run, and then I want to run this other one. I think that's probably, I mean, maybe I'll have enough for 3. I got to fight my fights quicker, too. So I got to get going, basically, because I'm worried about my time. All right. Do I care? This is fine. This is all fine. They have the right items. That makes that good. Let's go ahead and itemize or grab stuff. Let's go. Yeah, like our run ended last game from our man-at-arms going masochistic or whatever the fuck it was, resisting 2 heals, and then refusing and then killing himself on his turn. Like that's how we just lost the last one. That was pretty painful. What happens when a hero dies in the farm area? He goes AWOL for a round, and he comes back minus his items, and comes back a week later. So it just takes time to recover him. That time is you have to run some shitty level 1 mission. Did I not do removal? I don't think people are being removed right now. It's just so bad. This is so inefficient. Fuck, I didn't do removal. Alright, I'm feeling rushed.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
What calculates the score? The number of kills you have.
No quarter.
There's no calculation involved. It's just straight up number of kills. Can I get shards and random stuff? I don't know. Take it easy. No, sir. This is not a stream about taking it easy. What's my current score? I'm not currently in that dungeon, Galg. I'm setting up to go to it. I have to do this stuff to get there.
connection is broken. Maintain the offensive. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
So the control strategy is doing really well, huh? Maybe we try that first and get back on that board.
Back to the pit.
That's weird. What is the, I mean, what is the, I mean, I guess the Jester's just there for stress healing.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Alright, we've already scouted the one way. I don't know if I can get shards out of these or not. Thanks, QED. I also feel like your first virtue check is such a big deal. If you hit your first virtue check, you're in really good shape.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Executed with impunity. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Shit, I hate that I advanced this week without setting up people in the sanitarium. How does virtue work? It's a base starting percentage. I think it's 25, but that might be high. I can't remember what the base starting percentage is right now. And if you hit it, you go virtuous. And if you don't, you don't. And the affliction is super bad, and the virtue is really powerful. Biggest part about the virtue is it's it resets your stress and makes you not invulnerable anymore to stress, but semi-invulnerable to stress. You have a lot more stress available to you. And if you hit your negative, if you hit the affliction, your character has a very limited lifespan left for how long before it's annoying as shit. I mean, that's one advantage of running the Jesters. You can eventually get someone out of their affliction. I think that's still in the game, if you stress heal them down to 0.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay. Well, and this is going to be an adaptive process, right? As people play this more and figure out what the fuck the format's about, of course people are going to get better at it. And I mean, like, I expect once it releases...
Our modest fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Praise the sub. Welcome to Jedi Kiwi. Once it releases, and there's a lot of people playing it, as opposed to just like the 10 or 15 playing it right now, you're going to see a lot of strategies come out that aren't currently in play. You're going to start seeing optimal comps for it or semi-optimal comps. It's just right now what's going on. And some of that is just, you know, like copying the stuff that's working now, but some of it is trying to get some time to make sure the stuff that we're checking out might work. I mean, 300 is going to be like a 3 or 4 hour run, and I don't have more than about 2 of those in me today. So I need to stop dicking around with this shit, but I need to get my people back, so it's kind of shitty hit was that, occultist?
Confusion. Nerves.
Nerds!
Panic.
Yeah. On the farm runs, if you're calling this a farm run, because it's awkward, because the place we're going to is the farmstead. So when you say farm run like that, I'm not clear if you're talking about this stuff or the other stuff. I'm aware I'm kind of like half doing inventory management here, but I'm trying to skip curios that I don't need. But I also wasn't sure if the stuff like chests and bags can have that's not what I wanted to do. Can have the shard loot.
His size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay.
Room by room, hall by hall, we reclaim what is ours. Curiosity, interest, and obsession. Mile markers on my road to damnation.
It's a really good pickup. Cost me 20 crystals to do that. -4 speed permanently for an entire run. That just makes him useless. Alright, let's see what else is available.
It is done. Turn yourself now to the condition of those poor devils who remain.
I hate that I didn't fill that up. That's so bad. Alright, so we got a... Which was that? That was this guy. He's -4 for the... Makes such a big difference on stuns. Do we have a Plague Doctor? We don't have another Plague... Oh, we do. He'll have that until he goes on a mission, too. So I think he's just dismissible. Alright, let's grab our items. I think I want to pick up this item, and I want to pick up the... So good. Alright, if we run these items, who would we run? So let's say I run... If I run the group we did well with yesterday... Fuck off. Go where I tell you to go. Which was this. Double diseases right now. But say we ran that. Hey, Kilroy. What would I itemize like? This was really strong. I don't remember my second item there, but I'd like to remember. If someone remembers for me, that would be great. I want a stun or an accuracy item here, both. Fortune Amulet. What's Fortune Amulet? I don't remember what a fucking Fortune Amulet is. Wait, where's my Plague Doctor item? Why is it down here? Oh, this thing. Maybe. See, that was the other thing about the Hound that we don't have in here. The Hound is the best stunner in the game right now again. Because the Hound is the biggest fucking plus stun item out there. So I didn't run this last time, and I felt the need to afterwards. Sure I wasn't using surgical gloves? Maybe surgical gloves were here. Shit, I don't remember the rest of this distribution. I don't remember at all what I was running on the Men-at-Arms. that was on the Arbalist. Not running Vial. No, stress seems to be a really big deal. The stun chance would be really nice. So this is what we did run. I'm not sure I want to run that again, but what I was looking at is item space. So when I back out of there and look now. So we're looking at potentially purchasing that. That's not what the Arbalist was running. Arbalist had a, last time she had this, didn't she? Which was really solid. No speed there. I get a big speed buff already though. If I could run that on her. Does that have speed on it? No. And I'm very dubious about the stress. Ranged accurate. That sounds likely. Ranged accuracy. So if I put on that, 30% damage reflection is amazing. I wonder, actually, I don't know. Do you guys know, have you seen this used? Is damage reflection, I don't take the damage and it's dissipated? Is it I take the damage and the enemy takes it? Or is it the damage is dissipated and the enemy takes it? There's three possible ways that could interact just from the wording. I don't know which it is. I'd like to know. There's a dodge trinket for the bounty hunter. Hey, Lord Soldier Steve. That seems incredible to me. Anyone know how this works? When it says you both take damage, that makes it worse. Too bad that's not plus stun. Alright, do we want to try this control strategy that's doing real well first, and then we'll try our strategies? I mean, we have lepers or jesters to spare, right? So let's run jesters to spare. Let's check that control strategy. Those are both neutral. Had 2 leper masks. That's actually fairly good there. I think this is one of the best items in this format right now.